Welcome, grab a coffee and join us on the school thick-up.
I was a kid in a funny situation. I was always a bit of a playground avenger, so I would bully the bullies. After I was the one targeted at the school, once my parents were called in and the conversation went like this. So a group of boys tried to bully your daughter by calling her names today. My mum said, "Oh no, is she okay?" The principal, "Well, we're actually calling you because you hit all the boys with a lunchbox until they stop." My parents would proudly tell this story to this day, as would I.
Yeah.
And it made me think of Tina.
I'm scared of all the reasons I'm going to have to pick up Tina the next couple of years. She's done really well so far. And there's mean boys in her classroom, and she just tells them that she doesn't like it, and she walks away.
You know what? I think she's going to end up being the more adult out of all of us.
She's very mature for 4 years old.
Well, we already knew that, didn't we? She's a clever little lady. It's also her, I'm just going to rag my mum wild here, because I won't misbehave for anybody else. I'm an angel. This one...
Help football. She gets a job at school, and she's like, "Yeah, I do my job every day." And I'm like, "You do your job for your teacher, but won't do it all?"
Yep.
Literally, you only have to feed the cat and the dog, and she's like, "I don't want to."
I've had this Charlie's whole life. Everybody says, what an angel he is, how lovely he is. And I'm sat there going, are we talking about the same child?
Right.
You'll see when he comes over with you, he will be the most angelic, polite little soul ever. And you're going to sit there going, no, I know this isn't Charlie, because you hear what goes on in my house.
It does not matter where we go or what we do. My kids get complimented on anywhere we go. Their kids are so well behaved. I don't understand.
Yep. My mum had that with us growing up.
I don't understand.
Because we've taught our kids, and as I was taught growing up, that we don't wash our dick in public. If you're going to misbehave, you do it at home. You can do what you want at home, but out in public, you behave how you've been taught to behave.
It's more so they behave at school, they behave while we're out and about, and at home they're in their comfort zones to be themselves.
Exactly.
Completely. And I think that's part of the reason why Maya didn't get her autism diagnosis is because she's been masking already for so long.
She's so used to it.
She was masking while they were doing the evaluation.
Well, of course she would have been. Because that's what she was used to. That was her normal.
Yeah. They didn't rule it out, but they just didn't have enough evidence during her evaluation to diagnose her with autism rather than a personality disorder. Oh, it's definitely not a personality disorder.
I think she's going to be one that's going to possibly take a little bit later in life for it to come out more before they'll actually do anything. Yeah. Especially if she looks at going to college.
Let me show you her room when I get home.
Is it a bomb site again?
It's atrocious, and there's so much stuff on her walls that she is me as a child. Her age, that's exactly what my room was like, except it was covered in pictures of my friends and family and magazine pictures, posters. Because I got a subscription to Teen People magazine on accident when I was 13. Came until I was 17. So every month I'd get a new magazine, and I literally had one of those giant Tupperware big boxes full of them.
Yeah.
But I would go through and I'd tear out the pictures that I wanted on the wall. And,
posters aren't a big thing like they were for us as kids, because we all had posters in our bedrooms. Charlie's got some of my drawing on his wall and pictures, and then he's got Iron Man's shield and stuff. No, Captain America's shield.
I'll show you my and Zane's room when I get to the house. So they're reincarnated as me, and both of them should have been born in the 90s. And it's crazy because they've never seen my room. I don't have pictures of my room as a kid. I don't have anything like that. The only thing that they've ever seen at my mom's house that was mine were the stickers that I collected and put on my door. It's incredible how many stickers there are.
We covered our wardrobe in them.
Same exact way still.
Yep.
Stickers on everything. All right, what's the next one?
He hurt his foot. When I arrived and I asked him how, he said, math. It was to get out of maths class. I mean, I reckon that's a Charlie answer, that, isn't it? Yep. Your kids like maths, isn't it? It's not right. There's something wrong with it.
I agree.
Right. So this is from Necro Nom Nom Acon, apparently. It's a weird name, though. So I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Me and my daughter were goofing around, and I said one day, watch, I'm going to finally be a beautiful butterfly. My daughter responded, "Daddy, it's taken 40 years. You're never going to be a butterfly, but you're quite a cute caterpillar."
That's fucking great. You're never going to be a beautiful butterfly.
I was sat here earlier doing this and I was chuckling away to myself about that one.
No, that's TT all the way.
Oh, yeah.
On the way to dinner, they were pointing at Bricktown Brewery, and Dylan was like, "Yeah, that's where we're going to go later." I was like, "Oh, you just want me to drop you off after we eat? I'll just drop you off, come back and get you guys, because you guys are going to be wasted, right?" They were going to go out and drink for Jeremy's party, for his birthday or whatever. And Dylan was like, "No, by that time, I should be able to run home." But Tina goes, "You ain't running. If you tried to run home, you would die. Or you'd be dead or something like that." It was fucking great.
Right, next. I have 3 kids. When my oldest son was 4, the other boys were 2 and 0. We were driving home after school and I was having a rough day. He saw that I was tired and frustrated and he said very matter-of-fact to me, "Mummy, if you don't want life to be so hard, then you shouldn't have had kids." Touche, I burst out laughing and gave him kudos. He was right and I loved that.
I was little that she had kids so that...
When Mum asked for a dishwasher when we were teenagers, Dad turned around and said, "You gave birth to 3 of them." Yep.
That right there.
Yep.
We had a dishwasher and it was broken until I moved out. So I hand washed all the dishes. And then they went into the dishwasher to dry.
No, we had to pile up, clean the cooker, clean the work surfaces, dry up, put away. Parents never did dishes.
Yeah, doing the dishes consisted of cleaning the kitchen. It wasn't just you go do the dishes. You go clean the kitchen, you sweep, you mop, you wipe the counters down.
Yep. And because we would always argue or wind each other up, we couldn't do one wash, one dry because they couldn't trust us to be in the kitchen at the same time.
Oh, no. My kids are like, "Oh, I loaded the dishwasher," and I walk in there and there's still dishes. Dishes are not sitting in the gosh dang sink.
Yeah.
They don't get washed.
So, Mum won't
let... They can be lined all the way around the outside of the sink. And if they're not in the sink, they don't get washed. That's how bad it is. When I was you guys' age, I had to walk the whole house to make sure there was no dishes, no spoons, forks, you name it, laying around everywhere. Yep. And then hand washed and dried all of the dishes and put them away, and then wipe the counters, sweep the floor, mop the floor, and take the trash out. They're like, "That's a lot." And I was like, "You're lucky. You just have to load the dishwasher."
We still had homework that we had to do, plus other chores that we had to do.
Luckily, the middle school and the high school here in Shawnee, elementary still sends home homework, but it's not like extravagant or anything like that. But the middle school and high school, their teachers do not send home homework unless it doesn't get done. It doesn't get done in class, which I am all for. I freaking hate homework. My kids are at school already for 8 hours a day. You can't get done what you are doing in the day in 8 hours. Do it tomorrow.
I used to prefer doing homework because we had lads in our class that were disruptive, and back then there was no sort of remove the disruption or anything. And I like to just sit and do my work.
I honestly didn't do homework. I never turned it in, never did it. And if I did do it, it was late. I hated homework.
I don't say there's no homework around here, though, because he'll think he doesn't have to do anything then because he's homeschooled.
Mine's a little bit different. I'm a public school.
Yeah, but I know he's...
They're literally from 7:30. So Tina gets here at 7. I drop off at 7:25, and I don't pick her up until 2:30. Zane goes to school at 8:20 and doesn't get home until 3:30. And then Maya goes to school at 8:50. I think school starts at 8:50. Thursdays and Fridays, and she doesn't get home until like 4:45.
We used to start at 8:30 and finish at 3:20. I then had a bus to get home. It took me an hour and a half travelling to get to school every day because I went to school in our home city rather than in the town that we were living in.
I think Zane said that he's on the bus for maybe 10 minutes. But we're literally not even a mile from the middle school. And then Maya is just a mile and a half down the road from us. And Tina's about a half a mile now.
She's getting the bus this year anyway, is she?
She won't ride the bus until she goes to Will Rogers, until she goes to first grade. Which means that the schedule that I have right now works perfectly. I think I'll wait on school or figure this whole thing out because school's not in my future at the moment.
No. It might happen, it might not. But we've got other things. The future's looking bright.
Right, and then nothing else. The future, I can still, if I want, but enjoy what I'm doing.
And why not? About time we enjoyed something in life, isn't it? Right, next one. They were talking about dads and their jobs. Kid number 1, my dad's a cop. Kid number 2, my dad's a nurse. Kid number 3, my dad sits on his arse all day. Out of the house
Wales?
in the same sort.
Same one.
Go on.
I don't remember exactly what it was. Oh, I've seen this little kid. Mom posted about their little kid, and it was like, "What does your mom like? What does your mom enjoy?" or something like that. It had the picture of the mom sitting at it, a phone in front of her. You could see like coming off of it, and it said she likes to dab. She would dab. The phone sitting on the table too, because then I guess every time that she dabbed, she would dab. Oh, so. It worked. It could have left the bong out, but...
I'm a 90s kid. I grew up grunge and still dressed like I'm auditioning for a Nirvana film clip. I was telling my 10-year-old daughter that I was thinking of growing dreadlocks, and she said, well, you already look homeless, so why not?
Honest like that.
Brutal.
Jesus.
I've taught Charlie a little bit of tact with that because he was so brutally honest. It was hurtful a lot of the time.
Go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Right. My wife rarely swears, but when she does, it's always memorable. One day after my daughter dropped a glass of milk at dinner to watch my wife lost her shit over, I was picking her up from school. My 3-ish-year-old son, young enough to not know what he was saying, tripped as we passed the school gate. At the top of his lungs, for fuck's sake, in the exact tone his mum used the night before after the milk incident, 100+ parents, plus teachers and the principal, laughing and clapped. Wasn't it embarrassing at all, right?
First time she said a cuss word. What was it? We're sitting at the kitchen table, and I think I was doing Maya's nails. This was just not even a year ago. Bonnie was messing with my leg or something. Oh, don't fucking do that, or something like that. The word was fucking, okay? And Tina just bursted it out. I was not like, it was just another fucking word. 3 years old. And then the other time was we were watching Blippi and Mika. No, Blippi and Mika. Well, Blippi and Mika have, they're not clones, they're not clones, but villains, and they don't look like. One of Mika's light skinned.
Yep.
African American. Mika's dark. Like the villain Mika, she's dark African American. They don't have the same face structure. They're two different people. I turned on Blippi and Mika, and the other day day before that or whatever, I was watching some video. I was like, it's not fucking Mika. Who is that? Well, turned on the wrong video, and Tina goes, that's not fucking Mika. Good grief, child. I said, that is not okay. She's like, what? That's not fucking Mika. Said it again, and I was like, Tina, baby girl, this is where we learned about cuss words. The words that I say that are, there's bad words. There's words that you aren't able to say yet. And she was like, but I just said it. That's not fucking Mika. Oh, God.
And then you've got to try and stop yourself laughing as well. Because it's hilarious, but if you laugh, it's condoning them doing it.
Oh, I busted up laughing. I thought fucking Mika.
My old man saw my brother struggling to get his shoes on and said, you've got them on the wrong feet, mate. My brother thinks for a few seconds and replies, but these are the only feet I've got. That's why I go.
These are the only feet I got.
I think we were actually on call when you did that because I remember her saying it.
The only feet I got. I wish.
So this one kind of got me thinking of the differences between our kids. A couple of years ago when we had a blood moon, I was driving with my nieces. I pointed to the moon and asked them, ages 3 and 4, what was different with the moon. Miss 3 excitedly said, it's red. So then I asked them, why do you think it's red? Miss 3 thinks about it for a minute and says, it spent too much time in the sun and got sunburnt. Miss 4 pipes up and said, it was shot and now it's bleeding. That's Charlie. That would definitely be Charlie.
Mine would probably pick sunburn.
Yep.
Maybe sunburn if you're sitting fun. Brain freeze.
Oh, all right.
My brain freezes get stuck there in my throat instead of my head.
It can't be normal.
But it ends up into back.
Gets through your eardrums and everything. Right. The last one. My daughter had some food in her face, and I said, "What's that all over your face?" She replied, "I don't know. I'm in first person. I can't see it."
What a cube. That's funny. I don't think my kids have ever said anything like that. That's great.
I enjoyed that one immensely when I read it.
When first fish around, I can't see.
It's a logical response.
Definitely.
We spend most of our time running around not being able to see what we look like.